top spot.
Hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because not only will this be a crazy match, but the ban phase could be very spicy as well. As Rob alluded to earlier, the last time these two played on Cafe, it was in the Operation Thai League. Guess what got banned? Finka, Twitch, Wamai, and Mirror. What the hell is that? That is just unheard of. And it's already something different again. Zofia taken off the board here from QConfirm. So I don't know exactly how this ban phase is going to pan out. Probably, I'm going to suggest something going to be the complete opposite, so I'm probably not even going to bother. There we go. Oh, Zofia and Finka banned off the board in a Rainbow Six Siege Tier 1 competitive match. Would you believe it?
Well, I would believe it, because you were making a very valid point as to why I should believe it, guys. So you should really just back yourself in here for having done the homework. Well, mine's going to go as well. So it's, well, I mean, I guess this is kind of expected, right? Wouldn't you say this is actually expected?
Yeah, well, we'll see if it gets rounded out with that mirror ban. Being Cafe, there's probably a fair chance that will be the case as the timer ticks down. QConfirm with that final ban. I'd assume.
Surely.
No, there's a small chance they might keep it on the board, but oh, okay, they do. So Valk taken off instead. Wow, this is one hell of a ban phase. And I'm just going to put it out here, chat. I just put 30,000 channel points on Xavier to win this match. I'm going all in. Well, not all in. I've got lots of points, but this is big. I'm backing them. I have full faith that I will beat Manic.
You probably could have gone all in and then you would have won. I'm in the same camp as you, right? We're the best tipsters. Well, I know you are.
I am the best tipster, literally.
By association, I am as well. That's generally how it works.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, I think what we're trying to get across here is that Xavier, by all definitions, come into this favor, and we saw a pretty one-sided affair for the most part. Like Elevate kind of gave us a bit of something, but it was 7-4. I kind of expect something similar, right? Like, I kind of expect QConfirm to be the Elevate here and for Xavier to be the Giants as we head over to Cafe for this final match of the night. And what I mean by that is I kind of expect QConfirm to have some good moments, maybe win a round or two, and probably lose a round or two they should have won, but Xavier, just being Xavier, will be too good and clutch out and win a few rounds that maybe they're a little bit behind. So that's what I expect from this matchup. We'll see if it plays out that way. Xavier going to be on the attack first, QConfirm on the defense, which I kind of like that probably for QConfirm, to be honest. We haven't seen much Cafe. I think we've only seen one Cafe so far for all of APAC South, so this is going to be the second time we see it. But I think it just allows them to just sort of see what Xavier's going to throw at them.
10 seconds to insertion.
The Frost being brought out here in round number 1 from QConfirm, like Colas. We'll be able to deploy those frost mats around the map. I love that one there. Of course, denies a potential 6-pick on to the Amaru. We often see rushes there. Second one placed on a default plan, and I expect the third might be placed on a window swinging over towards lounge, or even the vault inside of shop. So I'm liking that from like Colas. Keep in mind as well, he has a deployable shield and the ITA shotgun. And we've seen over the last few weeks, Frost
hang on a second. There's a lot of commitment over here at Pixel.
Yeah,
which we haven't seen for a while.
Some teams, it might sound crazy even after the Jaeger and Mine nerfs, but some teams are committing to this, placing that deployable shield quite deep and then falling back over towards that washroom's little corridor and playing off that single reinforcement. So I wouldn't say it's too crazy unusual, but it is very risky.
There's a good opportunity. The other thing as well, like by playing that washroom's position, the window there on the white corridor as well, you've got to be very careful of. If you try and sort of swing between washrooms and Pixel, you're going to have a really tough time if there's anyone even remotely watching that window. And just the fact that it's been open, you know, Xavier kind of like, hey, we've opened it. We've had someone go by there. Now you're not sure if someone's watching it. They might watch it. They might not. Just puts the thought into the mind of Roldini. Minute and a half. Not a lot has happened, though. Still 5v5. Xavier just playing this out pretty comfortably.
8 drones still in play for Xavier. Only 2 taken down so far by QConfirm. We saw the Intel play a big part in the last matchup between Giants and Elevate. Typically, when the Giants at least had drones up on the attack, they were able to convert those rounds. And I'd expect no different here from Xavier. They love to play aggressive, and droning can facilitate that. First nade heads out for DCH, gets caught in the ADS. A second will be cooked, but another ADS is active, so waste of 2 nades there from DCH. That said, the util does get cleared. Oh, Xenox, the player's trapped there. Maybe he can get the kill.
He's pinned. Yeah, there's no way he gets out of that alive. DCH is going to claim that one. There is a trade elsewhere, though. Hajime is going to be able to find one, which was technically the opening kill of the round. Gemini is going to go out. Lycola's just sitting in freezer. 35 seconds left. Onigiri now on piano stage, and this is the go time for Xavier. This is where, now that they've cleared Pixel, they can also push through White Corridor and start to push onto site.
Dark though inside of reading, gets caught. DCH has to reload before he can secure that kill, as Hajime sends it in angry as well through the swing. Kills falling left, right, and center, leaving it in the 2 versus 2. Diffuser though, it's down. Onigiri
Oh
will
my
need
God.
to find the final 2. Doesn't have time to go for a plant. Hajime, he plays it perfectly, and QConfirm will claim the round.
Yeah, good angle to hold, watching the diffuser, and just so happens that's where he comes from in the end as well. Makes it pretty easy. Close one, a bit messy, but for the most part, I think you're happy there if you QConfirm, more so than obviously Xavier. You come away with the round win, and you know, at this level, at APAC South level, guys, you're going to have a lot of rounds like that against all of these opponents where it's 50-50, it comes down to a 1v1, or it's just overall quite messy. And it's just about who can come out of those rounds, because you're going to have some rounds where, you know, for QConfirm's sake, they're going to get like maybe a 5-3 advantage by getting the first 2 picks. Securing those is typically quite easy. Doesn't always happen, but it's those rounds, it's those messy rounds, it's those 50-50s that could go either way. You win enough of those and you typically will win the map in a best of 1. I will say in a best of 3, that sort of situation is usually alleviated, but this is best of 1, man, so each round matters so much. And Xavier themselves being such a top team, we spoke about it, Elevate versus Giants. Xavier's the same thing. You cannot give them a chance. They will take it and they will bite your hand off and run away.
I wonder if it would be even fair to say that maybe QConfirm could be the biggest threat to Xavier in this stage for the rest of the stage, even?
Yes and no.
Maybe a fair assessment, just because of the fact that these teams often play each other quite a bit and have traded blows in the past.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like, they've traded blows. I remember doing research, and believe it, at the beginning of the season, before we started. And this was the thing that sort of caught my eyes the most, was that QConfirm and Xavier go back and forth trading results, right? Sometimes it's QConfirm that wins out a tournament, or, you know, sometimes it's Xavier, and then when they play each other, sometimes it's really close, sometimes it's not close, and sometimes Xavier wins, sometimes QConfirm wins. Like, they legitimately go back and forth, right? That a best of 1 here on Cafe, quite honestly, could go the way of QConfirm, and I wouldn't be sitting here overly surprised, but it is still a result that Xavier needs to win, especially over here in APAC South. But in terms of the competition overall, I don't think that QConfirm would be that much of a threat to Xavier. I think Knights and Giants are the 2 biggest threats. But in this best of 1, this is a big threat for Xavier in terms of losing a map, yes.
If you're a Knights fan or a Giants fan, you're probably rooting for QConfirm to a certain extent. You also don't want them gaining too many points. So maybe the ultimate outcome for some of those teams is something like a QConfirm OT win, which is kind of weird to say, but that's just how the math works out. Either way, though, let's hone into this round. There's already been a pick. It was Roldini taken off the board. Still yet to find a frag on this map. Xavier now looking to take control above, keeping in mind that the bump side is reading and dining. But it's typical for teams to sweep across. That's a little bit unusual, though. Dark playing quite aggressively. The newest addition to this roster after jumping on board, after being a sub. Getting aggressive now, over towards top red. Oh, almost finds the second, but Napier does find that trade back.
I thought Dark was going to get Napier, but he still gets 1 in the end at least. 4 versus 3, so the advantage remains with Xavier. Juice are not going to find anything just yet, but kind of sense will have an impact later on in this round. Onigiri getting ready to push into mining at some point. Still a minute left, and that's a lot of time here for Xavier, considering they also have this advantage. QConfirm mostly on site, like Olis and Producer, you can see there, just under bar. So Hajime still, I believe it was White Corridor, pushing around upstairs. It is, but he's very low health.
4 drones on the board.
My God.
Napier needs to be mindful of Hajime. Don't know if there's a rotation inside of washrooms. If there is, he could be in strife really, really quickly here. As the time continues to tick down, it's a team kill. Angry X there onto Napier, just clicks him straight on the top of the head. Not sure what happened there, but with 20 seconds to go, they need to recuperate. Try to think about how they'll execute the site.
I'm so confused. We didn't see it from his angle. Zappa's been eliminated as well. Hajime can just drop down. This is perfect. He's going to catch the player in train. No, Onigiri's too good for that one. They regain their advantage in a 2 versus 1, but time is of the essence here. Lycolis cannot deny. Angry X ends up salvaging the round after almost causing its demise, guys.
I mean, some would say that the team kill was just aim training for that final pick. I would say that it was a strange mistake. The way I saw it there after the overhead is he literally just popped him in the head. Like, it wasn't like...
Well, yeah, he like literally just like swung and he like swung and hit him, right? Like...
Bit peculiar. Ah, well.
He's like, hey, stand still.
Just aim train.
And he just pops him in the middle of an APAC South match, and he's just... He was just
co-vacking in the middle of an official. I see nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all.
1-1. Yeah, Xavier come away with the round, but boy, that could have set the tone, guys. I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much. We'll probably leave it at this, but if QConfirm had have got off to a 2-0 start here on Cafe defense, we would have been pretty happy with this start. But it doesn't happen that way. Xavier salvaged the round. It's all tied up. 1-1. But I am liking what I'm seeing from QConfirm. I think they've kind of already backed up my theory from before, guys, where I was sort of saying that there's going to be similarities between this match and the Elevate Giants match, and so far it's playing out that way.
I'm liking these operators from Xavier. A lot of throwables on the board. You have 4 grenades in the hands of Angry X alongside DCH. You have 4 smokes. Sapper and Napier bring those to the board. And on top of that, you have the 3 Candelas from Napier. A lot of damage could ensue here if Xavier used this utility correctly. And QConfirm, like it or not, are playing into it, extending over towards Cupcake. High risk position. If Xavier, as I said, use that utility effectively and clear this position, the
they have a Sawyer Gate and Cupcake. Where are the other 2?
I think they were placed Red Hall over the other side.
Could wait, I guess. I mean, you can hold them, right? I mean, he's holding 1. Producer's holding 1, so we're just maybe a bit MIA on 1. Maybe, as you said, Red Hall, but it is kind of smart to hold it and just sort of see where Xavier are going to maybe push from. Depends on how much pressure, you know, they're going to put on Bakery, or they're going to drop Freezer, for instance. So there's a bit of versatility there, I guess, on Producer, being able to hold onto one of those Sawyer Gates. I kind of expect Xavier to take their time here. Really play that top-down approach. Clear out train and mining.
Napier.
Well, that's the opposite of what I thought Xavier would do, I guess. So for QConfirm, that's great. This is perfect from Lycolis. Looking almost for a second one. Don't get too greedy, though.
With that Ying taken off the board and no Candelas left to throw, they're basically forced now into these aggressive picks, at least on the side of Xavier on that attack. The nades could have played a part, but they've already all been burnt as well. So I did mention how critical the utility would be in this round, and Xavier have just completely messed that up, it would seem. And Lycolis can just sit pretty behind the shield.
Oh, the swing!
Maybe not. It's a strong swing. It's a second on the Hajime who gets caught off guard. DCH pulls out the God 6, forgetting he doesn't have a secondary. Roldini, meanwhile, will shut down Onigiri. So it is a 3-on-3.
Did he just not see him come in? Was he just like blindsided for a split second? Because he had just destroyed the Gemini prior to that, so there wasn't any confusion there. It wasn't just... Yeah, that was intriguing. To be able to get Hajime as well, which I kind of expected we would be able to get the trade, right? That was literally his position, and that was his job, and he failed at that, and Xavier are now in on site. 3 versus 2. 50 seconds remaining. Roldini, though, flanking in from behind, but I think the damage, more than anything, is done. Not the best time to reload. Fortunately, that was a Gemini. Still spooked Dark. Ooh, even spooked myself there for a second, and that is now making it a winnable scenario. Zappa going to go for the plant. This gives Dark maybe an avenue to get a 1v1 opportunity, and Zappa gets off it, actually, with 25 seconds left. Dark still can actually force a 1v1. If Zappa goes for the plant, it'll be DCH versus Dark, but DCH wins it.
There's one word that you used that round, Xenox, that really stood out to me, and I think best describes Thai Siege, and that word started with an I. It was intriguing.
Yeah.
You could use interesting as well, if you wanted.
Yeah,
But Thai Siege is... yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's quite crazy. There's a lot
It's
going
fun,
on, a lot
though.
of players running around. It is fun. That is another good word to describe it. Yeah, wow. A lot of picks in that round were just... players running around, repositioning, falling into lines of sight. Pretty full on. But for the nerds out there, like you and I, or maybe me and Dev and Raven, it really came down to the utility because it didn't allow Xavier to take control of cupcakes as they would have liked. For whatever reason, Napier just sent it deep.
The switch.
Well, this is actually the double switch because Napier's fallen off the Ying and the defense went onto the Warden to try and counter the Ying. So some 6-pick antics are definitely going on here.
Is that just like 1 point Xavier now for the round? Do they get like a little bonus? Like they win the 6-pick battle?
They get half a point, but it rounds down. It rounds down.
Well, the Warden can still be impactful.
Well, yeah, of course it can.
Has
I
the
mean,
C4.
MPX, C4, 1.5 angle. Even if you're not necessarily using his gadget as intended or even at all, you can still have an impact in the frag department. And keep in mind, this is Thai Siege. Very frag heavy. Incredibly frag heavy. I would not be surprised if we just see Producer Boom running around inside of a lounge or downstairs or something whack.
Dump out through the window.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep, he's downstairs.
You're right. I don't think he'll run out, but just keep them honest and just start running around, have a bit of a field day down on that first floor and rotate between the stairs. Sort of a catch me if you can. But that's credit to Xavier. I feel like right now it's QConfirm. I know you mentioned Thai Siege, but I feel like it's more QConfirm, guys, than anything. Xavier themselves, of course, have been a bit wacky at times, but QConfirm, I think, is setting the tone.
Oh, yeah. QConfirm for the longest time of, I guess, being innovators might be the best way to describe it, in terms of just playing whack operators that you never see in literally any other region and actually making them work. One of those, of course, is the Finker, but that got banned out. I saw when the feed catched up on Twitch chat, a lot of people spamming Finker question mark. Oh, the 3-minute delay.
I mean, caught?
Yeah, caught. A lot of people confused at the Finker ban, but as I mentioned earlier, Finker is literally a staple in Thai Siege, would you believe it? Both of these teams, time and time again, will play it, so we'll have to see which team has the better recoil control, because we all know that's the only reason you pick it. True, but that's because your recoil management's really bad.
Just no need for that. Minute and a half remaining in the round. Not a lot has actually happened here, but like Hollis is still more than happy to just sit over at Pixel and keep the pressure on towards the latter stages. Has Roldini there as well and Cigar. I mean, this is very aggressive from QConfirm. Oh, the swing was not initially successful, but Roldini kept it going and rolled on and found the kill onto Napier. DCH top red. Not going to get involved. Was actually, I think, smoked off from even getting any sort of swing.
It's not much time left either, right? 50 seconds left on the board. QC have that man advantage and only extend it. Like Hollis to find one. A strong extension still inside of Lounge. The red hatch drop is forced there from Sapper. The picks, they just keep coming. That Ace will now try and partner up alongside Angry X, who finds one with a nade from above, but Roldini shuts down Sapper, who was at top red. Angry just goes, hey, I'm just going to send it. Doesn't pay dividends, and QConfirm will take the round.
I feel like that's just sort of his way of saying, let's just get this round over and done with.
Yeah.
Let's end it. Let's not drag this on. 2-2.
I think you might be right.
2 rounds to go in this first half. Final match of the night here for Apex South. QConfirm are looking to send a reprieve Robert Manic Monday's way to see if he can get at least one prediction correct tonight. I tell you what though, guys, if he is right and QConfirm do come away with a win here, I don't think anyone's going to care about the fact that he got his prediction right. It'll be more so the shock that Xavier drop a match and give up top spot, and there's so many other things to talk about. No one will actually care about Robert's prediction at all.
Yeah, he'll get away with it, but yeah, that will a result like that where QConfirm get full points or even 2 points at that will really start to tighten up the top end of the standings. And you know, it's early days, yada yada yada, but as we keep saying throughout all of these broadcasts, a few points here and there are going to make a huge difference come the end of the season. These teams, of course, really vying for those top 4 spots. That's where you want to be. That's the goal. Maybe for Xavier, the goal is actually first, as that's where they are heading.
And you would
into
have to
this
think
play.
so, right?
Yeah.
First or being above Giants is something that they would have, well, one's assuming, have had as their expectations coming into this season. QConfirm though, and I'm really glad you actually brought it up though. This is the one match where it's sort of like, QConfirm could probably win this, and not only win it, but then that, how much does that impact Xavier's season from here on out, right? Does this one loss maybe, you know, sort of derail things a bit? Or is it just sort of like, all right, we've lost to these guys before, move on, let's continue sort of sweeping the rest of the competition aside? So a lot of storylines to come from this matchup, depending on how it plays out. Still a long way to go, and for all intents and purposes, I still kind of expect Xavier to pull away and close it out regardless.
Round number 5. It's another reading and dining defense here from QConfirm. Last time we saw this side, it was won by the attack. Pass your mind back, that was when Angry X hit a pretty nutty team kill, but then came up clutch in the end, and Xavier converted the round pretty comfortably. Their time management was quite good. They gained control above, and I assume they'll probably be doing something similar here. That said, no one really on the roof contesting that. So I wonder what the approach here from Xavier will be. Sure, they have Yana on the roof, but everyone else kind of just lingering around. Maybe they'll try and push up through the staircases.
They could literally just go for a horizontal push and get on site and no one will stop them. I'm not even joking. You could ignore that entire third floor, and it's a strat we've actually seen some teams do, knowing that the defense is going to be very aggressive above. You can just sort of ignore it, play a little bit more from below vertically. Zappa will get the opening kill onto Lycolis, and it looks as if they are actually just going to ignore that third floor, where I believe there was like 3 players of QConfirm roaming around.
Ooh. And they know that mirror window is clear as well inside of Train, so Napier should be able to just take clear control here inside of Train. He does. Hajime, meanwhile, off screen, does find one back, but no one's playing inside of dining. Xavier might be able to exploit this weakness. Sure, there'll be footholds, but they might be able to still get this win over board, but they don't have the kit either. I think it's been dropped over towards pillars, so Onigiri likely will need to try and collect that and then link up with the rest of the team.
Surely you can't take, with 35 seconds left, no, you're not taking that diffuser and getting it all the way over to dining. It can just be a position that they could hold, but DCH is limited by Roldini. This is going to have to be a default plant, and even then I don't think they've got the numbers for it. Roldini, this is the problem. If you don't clear out that top floor, guys, and you allow players to still be pushing you from top red and peeking over that balcony, you can't even really get that default plan. Credit to QConfirm. I mean, Xavier tried something a bit different here. Hasn't worked out. But that was a very clean round from QConfirm.
Yeah, it was an unorthodox approach there from Xavier. I'm not sure what changed in that round for them to take that approach. They won last time when they took above, but this time maybe they spotted something out in the prep phase they weren't really fancying and thought it would be easier to push from below. Doesn't really work out in the end. There was a good hold there from QConfirm. I'd say that as we stand at the moment, a 2-3, which could extend out to a 2-4, is not the worst result here for Xavier on Cafe. It's difficult to say, right? Because last time these two teams played on this map, QConfirm did only get the 4 rounds on the board. So if QConfirm win this round, then Xavier basically needs to go flawless for the rest of the map to replicate a similar result.
Well, the only time we've seen Cafe this season was QConfirm versus Wildcard, and that was pretty attacker-sided. But for the most part, you know, usually Cafe might edge defense. At least it is at the moment in OCN, where there's been 4 games. It's at a 52% rate. So just going off those sort of statistics, you're probably right. I think 4-2 for QConfirm is about right. I don't think it would cause for too many celebrations.
Nah. Either way, though, we head back towards kitchen. Syria Gate actually being used there to reinforce the reinforcement, if you would. Couldn't think of a better word than reinforce. I am a caster, but
5 seconds to insertion.
I need to study the dictionary or the thesaurus, if you would.
Attackers are moving.
I do like
out
that
to
though.
locate a
Makes it
bomb
more
and
difficult
defuse
to
it.
generate the angle in towards Cupcake, and that, of course, would suggest that QConfirm will extend that position. It was fruitful for them last time, albeit Xavier not really using their utility effectively. But I don't see any reason why QConfirm wouldn't try to reinforce that position once again, extend there, and try and hold out Xavier from that push. On the flip side, though, I'd probably expect Xavier to execute differently here. Maybe even a freezer push, try and get control of dining above as well.
Yeah, a bit more stock standard should be the approach for Xavier if they're going to win this round, because really playing into the hands of QConfirm hasn't gone too well for them thus far, which is a credit to QConfirm. Again, they've just pretty much got pressure just about on every single floor. Quick drop down top red hatch. Red stairs now in control for Xavier, at least on the top side of things. So one lurking around dining. I think there's still at least one on this third floor playing around white stairs. In fact, there's two.
I'm not sure when Napier got lit up from there, but either way, QConfirm just sitting back and waiting for this push to come through. Is that a player inside of dining? It is. It's Napier. Catches Roldini dropping down the stairs. Dark.
Reloading.
Lucky to get away with his head as well. Falls back. Needs to be mindful of the Maverick holes created on the garage, but they get away with their life. Like Colas, meanwhile, playing on that Warden, does get a trade back. Still holding the top floor. QConfirm. Question will be, does Xavier play into that, or do they try and just directly hit the site?
I kind of feel like we're not even going to see the site. I feel like the round's just going to be won and lost. First floor, like the second floor, third floor. Maybe not so much third floor anymore. Xavier have kind of just, again, skipped it, but this opens up a potential flank for QConfirm from below. So they can kind of pinch Xavier the latter end of this round. We kind of saw it in the last round, so may see it again here. 40 seconds left, and they've only just, I think, opened up that freezer hatch. 35 seconds, and I kind of feel like QConfirm are going to win this round and close out the half, unless Xavier can just win their ones as they get onto site.
25 seconds left, like Colas on the Warden, still holding above Xavier. Sapper with the diffuser in hand, just waiting for the moment to drop the hatch.
15 seconds.
You'll have to drop eventually, Xenox. There's only 10 seconds left now.
Oh, the swing.
That's not a great start, though.
Bad timing for Napier. It's great for QConfirm, though, as now they just make their presence known. Xavier left it to the last 10 seconds. Literally, they get punished for it. QConfirm all just swing out and collect kills one by one. They win the half 4-2. Well, there is a story brewing here on Cafe in favor of QConfirm.
Very, very spicy story indeed. In fact, I'm just looking back at that match result that we touched on earlier in the Operation Thai League, where it was a 7-4. In that match, QConfirm rather only won the 3 defenses. So they're already beating that last performance. So they're doing slightly better, which is awesome to see. And that puts the pressure, I think, now in the court of Xavier. Of course, you know, in the midst of an official, you're not going to be thinking about that kind of macro stuff. That's just for us to nerd out on. But I don't think they'd be in as comfortable of a position as they would have liked or maybe expected in this match.
Is that a prediction, Warden, expecting the 6-pick Ying?
Could be. Or Napier likely just wants to play MPX with 1.5 angle. Could be a little bit of that too.
I mean, Napier's kind of struggling a bit. It's one thing we probably should bring up because he performed very well last week. Made a good clutch to close out the win, and was one of the clips, just, you know,
pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. But 2-6 at the moment, struggling to really get into this match. Although I think I'm going to be honest and say, it feels like the majority on Xavier are kind of struggling to get into this one.
It's felt like that. On the defense, though, that obviously provides a good opportunity to get yourself back into things. One thing that we haven't touched on yet, though, is on the side of the attack, like Colas, bringing the 0 to the board. An operator that recently left quarantine, but hasn't seen a whole lot of play at the highest level of Siege. That said, very good in the limited amount of time that we have seen him. He, of course, can gain additional intel. He can clear utility with a single laser shot. His gun is also very, very powerful. So don't sleep on 0. Like Colas, especially if he has some pre-placed or pre-prepared spots for his utility, he could have a massive impact on this round.
Would you say, Guz, this is just a question for you, between me and you, between friends, if QConfirm win this opening... Oh, jeez. I hope so.
I'm just kidding. I just kidding. Yes, of course.
If QConfirm win this opening round, and let's say they win it convincingly, they go up 5-2, you got to back him in at that point, right? Like, you got to, like, kind of turn tides a bit.
Do you?
I think you do.
I guess, as we alluded to in the last matchup, the number 5 now on that scoreboard is actually quite impactful. That means you're 1 round away from at least securing a point in this new system. So, yeah, again, I don't think the teams will be thinking about that too much, but it is a significant lead. I think we'll just have to wait and see. QConfirm actually solid on these attacks, because defense is one thing, the switch of the sides and the momentum and the thought process for these teams can sometimes produce some interesting results. So I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself.
Don't have much longer to wait, though, to see whether that's going to play out that way. Roldini has been on a roll so far for QConfirm. I'm not petty like Rob. I'd be more than happy to see QConfirm win this one and shake up the competition a bit with a big knockoff of Xavier.
We're good here. Argus online.
It just... The only thing that kind of annoys me, Guz, is I don't know if it gives us really much of a season-defining tale for Xavier, because we touched on this. QConfirm can win this and win it comfortably, but can the other teams do it? Remains to be seen. And we won't get that answer from tonight's match, but we still need to see whether or not Xavier are going to be able to respond here, because they're under the pump. They're under the pressure. Nice smoke canister is going to at least put a bit of pressure back onto Roldini and Hajime, who both take a bit of damage. 30 seconds left, and now Angry X bites back and gets one down. This is what they need. Producer not able to find an angle here just outside Terrace. Xavier loses another, but it's traded back, and we just go back and forth. Napier's down after getting like Colas. 15 seconds left into the round. Sapper's still up, along with Angry X against Producer Boom and Dark in a 2 versus 2. Producer brings it back again. Have they got Diffuser? It doesn't matter. They find the double. QConfirm can confirm a 5-2 lead. It's going their way here on Cafe.
Really liking what I'm seeing here from QConfirm. That first attack was swift and confident. They cleared each of the key positions that they needed to. One thing that we didn't really get to see on camera, but I was keeping an eye on, was the fact that DCH was holding inside of that backstore position, and it was so critical in denying that push from Lounge. Unfortunately for him, he was so close to being able to hold on, but he got taken out. And from that point, it really just steamrolled, because everyone on side was just getting swarmed. All of these players knew exactly where the defenders were. And yeah, from that point, it was basically a lost cause.
It just gets sort of nerve-wracking now for Xavier and for Xavier fans. QConfirm, and this has been their story. This has been their tempo that they've set here on Cafe through and through. 5-2 now. We kind of went a little bit back and forth in the first 4 rounds, but since then it's just been all QConfirm. What if they won now the last 3 or 4 rounds in a row? It's looking pretty good for QConfirm. Tack time out for Xavier. So they have to rethink things. Fortunately, they are on the defense here. But I say that, and at the same time, guys, the fact that QConfirm are rolling the way they are on the attack, and they're setting the pace and they're setting the tempo, I think this is great for QConfirm. And for Xavier, they just got to sort of sit back and take a few punches, but find a time and a moment to fight back.
Well, I think part of that fight back tactic is probably taking their tactical time out. They're 1 and only for the map right now. I couldn't think of a better time to take it. You can stall the momentum that QConfirm have grown or produced, I guess, in the last few rounds, at least to some degree. I think it's like a minute pause, so enough time to talk things over and, as I said, stall out the opponent a little bit.
Stall out the opponent.
Of course, you can't fix all of your issues in a 1 minute span. It's unfortunately Siege is not quite that easy, but it does provide that window of opportunity for teams that can adapt quickly on the fly to think about the next few rounds and put that action into play.
As many bombs as they can.
And you know
Playing into
Xavier's good
action.
enough.
Playing into action. I said action into play. Yeah, sorry.
You know Xavier's good enough that they get one and they can get on that roll. You know, they can start to really have that avalanche of wins follow them through, especially on the defense, if they can really shut out QConfirm. But what I would kind of like to see them do, guys, is just be maybe a bit more aggressive. Maybe try and actually match fire with fire here in what QConfirm was doing on their defense, which was that heavy roam style, really denying that top-down approach. If Xavier can elect to do something similar, I mean, like, for example, Bar Cocktail, we were seeing QConfirm literally sit like on piano stage and then one over at the window. Like, you just don't see that usually.
Attackers are moving.
You might see something aggressive as well this round from Xavier. Onigiri has gone full champ mode, playing the Rook, so he can run the 2x, I presume. So we may even see him spawn pick, which would be a little bit cheeky. Yep, there we go. Over towards fireplace. Don't think you'll find anything there. On the side of the attack, however, we did also see a pretty interesting 6-pick from Producer Boom, jumping onto Carly. An operator that doesn't get a whole lot of love, unfortunately, these days, but of course can clear utility. The sniper hits pretty hard as well. Can open up the hatches as
Pretty
well.
hard.
So an added bonus. Napier with the C4!
Okay. Well, hey, that's what I've been asking them to do, guys. It doesn't pay. It doesn't work out, but that's what I've been asking them to do, and it just puts a bit of pressure onto QConfirm as well, right? If Xavier start doing those things, then well, QConfirm are going to start expecting that, and they're going to have to respect that and just tone things down a bit, and that in turn means Xavier themselves are the ones that are setting the tone. Big round though. Match point on the other side if QConfirm can come away with the win. Pressure over at Pixel from Onigiri. I see one ADS. I don't know if there's a second behind that shield and I couldn't see it, but I believe it's just the one.
It's a key position. It's playing it quite aggressively, but as I mentioned earlier, the MP5 with the 2x, whilst not having the highest damage output, just having that magnification alone can help a skilled player tap heads, and Onigiri is quite skilled despite the scoreboard maybe not fully reflecting it in this matchup. He can go big when the time calls. Napier as well, getting quite aggressive. Watching shots, swings and lands some shots. Finds that kill as well. Gets even more aggressive there in towards Lounge and gets shut down. Probably ill-advised as well. Dini is one to pick that one up. QConfirm now have a minute left to try and clear this Pixel position and think about the execute.
Yeah, just over aggressive. Just needed the one and then sort of back off, but don't mind it. Don't mind to see it, especially from Napier, who has started slow in this match. And just now in the last couple of rounds, being able to get some frags, get on the board. 40 seconds left, and at least from Xavier's side of things, they've slowed things down for QConfirm. This hasn't been an easy approach at all. It's still 4v4, so you kind of back in Xavier because of that. Onigiri, there's a nade just being thrown right at him, but he's expecting this push and lands the headshot onto Dark, who gets punished, and Onigiri can just now fall back over Pixel. The shield is still up, hasn't been cleared by those nades. 20 seconds left. Like Colas over at White Stairs, but there's someone watching it. I don't sense he's going to make it out of here alive, guys.
Oh, and you are right. It's a 4-on-1 now. Producer Boom left to try and clutch up, but there's not much he'll be able to do with the sniper in hand. And Xavier will crawl around back. It was looking a little bit scary for them, but they hold firm. Nice little pick there with the FMG. Now it's I guess, a road to recovery for Xavier, and just slowly, round by round, just claw back as best you can.
And they're capable of that. I mean, no one would sit here and be surprised, right? If Xavier were to come back. We know they're capable of this. For QConfirm, you know, if it gets from 5-2 to 5-3, then 5-4, and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this is getting away from us here. It's pretty easy then, as I said, it really snowballs for Xavier. I used the term avalanche before, and if Xavier can get back from a 5-2 and end up winning this 7-5, that is an avalanche. Long ways to go as we head to reading Fireplace. But good signs from Xavier, not just in the fact they won the round, guys, but it's how they won the round that matters the most.
So many different operators being brought to the lineup here across all of these rounds from both teams, which is awesome to see. Often in more traditional regions, even APAC South to some extent, a lot of the teams will basically play the exact same lineup for all 6 of their rounds in each half. But then these teams really mixing it up quite a lot. DCH jumping onto Alibi this round, Sapper, Ella Shotgun, that's pretty spicy. We're even seeing Jackal being brought out by Producer Boom, who was previously playing on the Zero. Both teams try to keep it fresh, keep their opponent on their toes, and they would have known that heading into this. I would bet my house on it that this probably happened in all of their other matches.
I don't even think you own your house.
I don't. I still live with my parents. So
oh, that's okay. Tough. It's, you know, it's a tough economy. What can Xavier do now in this next round? They gotta just keep this momentum going. Can't fall back. Can't just be satisfied with that one round and then shut up shop and go defense again. Want to see some aggressive plays. They got 2 over in Cocktail. Shield up there as well. Pretty standard as well, of course, for reading Fireplace. Nothing too surprising from this. I wonder if Onigiri is going to be aggressive over towards White Corridor. Are they going to play 3 up, 2 down? The White Stairs is the play for Onigiri. In fact, all the way from 1st floor to 3rd floor. Sitting in laundry now. I like this approach for Xavier. I think this is good. Between a mix of aggressiveness upstairs, but also still calculated defense around site.
as the time continues to tick down, QConfirm will think about how they want to clear some of these positions. One of those is inside of train/fire place, and I believe there's a player outside droning, maybe considering a peek outside, or a peek inside rather, from outside. Napier there to greet that player. It may well be like Hollis, in fact it is.
He's gotten a lot of information with this one drone, by the way. I've been watching that drone for like the last 10 seconds.
Oh.
Whoa.
I would not want to be peeking that if I was Napier, that's all I'm going to say.
It's no reason really to peek it yet either. If anything, allow, like Colas to push further in to train. Oh, good information here. Swings out, does get that. Oh, actually swings rather than going back through the fireplace. I actually thought Napier would go back through, but swung instead. I don't even know if swung is a word. Nice shot from like Colas. I think Napier just getting caught in a pinch there. Stuck in the corner. Like Colas just, really, that was quite easy. Just drone out, get the kill. Advantage QConfirm, 50 seconds left. Match point is looming. Dark, just talk about swinging in. They got a second one as well. Roldini covering and getting that trade after Angry did get one back onto Dark. Is immediately traded. 2 versus 4. 30 seconds left. Onigiri has to win this and does. More to do though.
30 seconds now. Sapper. He'll win that if someone decides to drop the hatch. The Owler shotgun will be very powerful in this position. Both players, in fact, locked on the eastern side of the map. They should be able to go for a default plan here, I would assume. Get behind that cabinet, try and get it down. I think it has been blown, so they might need to go deep, but the Candelas should facilitate that.
One Candela stopped, and then Sapper just with a headshot. 2 versus 2. Running on through, though. Hatchman's going to get Sapper. Onigiri from above. Diffuser down 2 seconds. No one's going to get there in time. That's going to be the round 1 for Xavier. What a clutch from Onigiri over in Cocktail. Knew exactly what he was doing.
Onigiri, absolutely insane. Shows up when it matters. He's one of the top-rated players already in this league, and I'm sure that rating is only going to skyrocket from here, so... Folks, go invest in Onigiri. It's going to the moon. That's all I'm going to say. And you know what else is going to the moon, Xenox? Xavier's score. Slowly but surely, it is rising. And QConfirm now have their opponent nipping at their heels.
I actually had no idea who was going to go to the moon, so thank you for clarifying that.
No problem.
You are right. From 5-2 to 5-4. It's a defining match, really, for the season. We aren't technically at the halfway point of the season, although we kind of are in a way, because of odd numbers and everything. It feels like this sort of middle point of the season. Xavier, of course, they win this in regular time, they get all 3 points, they would be the solo position at the top of the standings. But I think from a 5-2 position, guys, they would not in any way, shape or form be unhappy with 2 points right? They would have taken it. At 5-2, if you said, Xavier, do you want 2 points? They would say, yes, please, don't worry about the 3. They would still be tied with Knights. All would be well in the Xavier camp. The QConfirm, though, you lose this
10 seconds
in
remaining.
regular, and they are stuck on 3 points after 3 matches, and they're in the bottom 4.
5 seconds to go.
Deploying ADS.
It's a big matchup
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb
for
and
these
defuse it.
fierce rivals from Thailand.
I'm on guard. Thank you.
They play each other so often, they can read each other almost like a book at this stage. They can almost expect what the opponent's going to do before they even do it. And that will be a common theme, I think, as this map continues to develop. Which team can read into the other just that little bit better? Who can make that 1 or 2 adaptations to push themselves over the line? We're seeing a lot of change up, as I mentioned earlier, in the operator selections, facilitating that diverse playstyle from both teams. Which one will come out on top? We're yet to see, but Xavier, they're putting up a really, really strong fight at the moment.
Vigil, Legion, Malusi. I mean, this is a heavy roam setup from Xavier. QConfirm, more than happy to be ready for that. You know they are. But this first floor kitchen site, maybe they might just get caught off guard. On the flip, when we saw QConfirm defending this, guys, you know, you think back, there was so much utility emphasized on bakery. Look at it from Xavier. They're like, bakery, we don't care.
Yeah, stark contrast in playstyle here on the defense, and that allows QConfirm to open up the prep wall. Not sure what kind of denial they're rocking there on the cupcake wall. If we can get a quick look. I don't think it's anything, as the summer will deploy. Impact Trick did rain out though, so that breach may be compromised. In fact, it is. So it's only a peek hole here for QConfirm, not enough to enter in towards the site, which could prove possible.
Ooh, Dark just gets knocked down and finished off with the smoke canister from Sapper. Well, you gotta think, if they're gonna leave Bakery open like that, there's a reason why, and it pays dividends in the end for Xavier. And QConfirm on the back foot. They haven't got many drones left either. There's only 3 technically for the 3 players alive, so 50 seconds left on the clock. Still a lot of information that they need to gather on a Xavier lineup that could be just about anywhere here.
And they're desperately trying to find these picks from above, right? If they can find maybe 1 or 2, that swings the round back in their favor, but Xavier not really giving them a whole lot to work with. Like Collis though, he's creeping up Fred, but he gets caught. Angry, ready, and waiting. It's a 4-on-2 now.
Yeah, I mean, they had it all covered, though. Good position from Angry. Sapper goes down from Producer, but they got the numbers. Roldini has been very, very good for QConfirm so far, but now in a 3 versus 1 for Producer Boom and the Goo Mine as well.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Nice shot from Onigiri. Can you believe it, guys? We're all tied up. Oof.
Well, we thought it would be a close match, and so far, both of these teams are delivering some really fun siege being played by both of these teams, so got to commend them for that thus far, but we're far from the finish line as the next TAC timeout will be taken, so I'd assume this one, of course, will be from QConfirm, and they're really just doing what their opponents did to them, aren't they, Xenox? Just halting that momentum and trying to switch it back in their favor.
Deja vu. Deja vu, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it was like 3 rounds. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 in a row. I haven't actually got the match tracker up. That's my bad. It was 4 in a row to QConfirm. So 4 in a row to QConfirm, and then timeout Xavier. Since then, 3 in a row Xavier, timeout QConfirm. We are tied 5-5. Really couldn't get any more even than that. What this does do, though, is next round, whoever wins it gets match point, right? So that's match point. That's actually 1 point secured. So these are the funny little intricacies that we have in place for this season due to the point system. Whoever wins this next round actually gets a point. Like, that's crazy to even think about, even though the round's not going to be over. So the map's not going to be over.
Very, very keen to see which of these teams capitalize on their timeout best. I mean, you can make the argument that we're not going to see, or we may not see QConfirm best their opponents in that regard, because if they win the next 2 rounds, they win the map, and that's still 1 less than Xavier got after their timeout. But if QConfirm coming out of the gates slow here after their timeout, boy,
Attackers need to locate.
does start to look a little bit grim for them. But they are injecting some new life into this lineup. The Amaru being brought here by Producer Boom. Keep in mind, it will probably be directly countered by Sapper if he places the Frost Mat under that new bulk window, which is where we often see the Amari play. So there could be some fun counterplay that comes out here from both Sapper and Producer Boom.
Ready for company.
ADS deployed and ready to go. Needle set.
10 seconds to insertion.
I just almost want to just sit back and watch. I mean, that's, I guess, what we're doing,
5
but
seconds to insertion.
you know what I mean? Sit back, watch with intrigue,
Attackers
see
must
how this
locate
plays
and
out,
defuse
because
the bomb.
really now it's, I guess, all on QConfirm to respond here, and they are attacking, so they're setting their own pace and on how they want to respond. Xavier just have to kind of sit back and see what does QConfirm throw at us now, and it's going to be an Amaru.
Reloading! Cover me!
Hopefully it's better than the Amaru that we had in rank the other night. Dev knows what I mean. He's sitting there, he's nodding, and he's like, yes, Sedox, I know.
Well, I'm sure Producer Boom is definitely some more capable hands than anyone in our rank stack. Very intrigued would be the best word to describe my feelings on where
Which
is he going to
window he goes
actually
in?
play. Yeah, because he's setting up on the south side. I was anticipating maybe an east push or maybe something
Pixel?
over towards west.
Could you,
lounge, but a
if you
white
drone out
push,
Pixel and you know that no one's there and the shield is there, you could,
this could be the
I mean,
play.
like
If
go
no-
into white corridor and then take that position.
It will really depend if someone is holding top white. If that's being held quite fiercely, often difficult to counter that, and Producer Boom not feeling confident or maybe even just not wanting to, won't push that side of the map. Instead electing to group up with his teammates, maybe push towards a lounge.
Makes more sense.
Frag grenade out.
I think it could just even just be a sort of a backup option.
Jeez.
May not even be sort of the forefront of the attack for QConfirm, but more so like, okay, if we need it, we can maybe do, you know, plan B. This producer just goes in somewhere and does something cool. The old Gone 6?
I think it got caught. No, it did not. Shield down.
Is that thing got like a silencer on it or something? It's very quiet.
Yeah. Oh well. Either way though, utility cleared. With a minute to go now, QConfirm can start to edge closer towards the site. Dark cooks a nade. There's a player
Oh,
inside
no.
of the toilet, but on a Geary. He's going big when it matters. I said he can activate when required, and he is 10 and 6, still in a power position to have a big impact in the rest of this round.
Yeah, just falls back, gets closer over to Cocktail. They've got a really good position there. Good rotations opened up. Oh, Napier with a quick double as well. Slow to get into this matchup, but as the rounds have gone on, Napier is just getting more and more involved. Producer, of course, just doing Amari things, gets in somewhere on site. Roldini, though, has been big for QConfirm, but I don't know if he's going to be 1v3 big. And that's going to be match point for Xavier. Can you believe it? From 5-2 down, they've clawed it back to match point and at least 1 point secured.
They've gotten the magic match point. And now Xavier are in the perfect position to claim first place or retain first place in APAC South Stage 1. They're 1 round away from doing so. QConfirm. They've lost 4 rounds straight. They need to win just 1 more, just 1, to get it to overtime. But of course, that's easier said than done.
It's hard to see where QConfirm is going to win this round because the comeback that we've seen from Xavier, the avalanche, as I said, at 5-2, and it has been an avalanche, has been convincing in every single round. There hasn't been a round, guys, where we've sat back and we're like, oh, you know, QConfirm could have got this one. It was so close, could have gone either way. It's been one-sided. QConfirm's attack on Cafe has just been stagnant. They have not been able to put a dent into Xavier, except for that one opening round in the half. That was it. We haven't really seen them throw much of a heavy punch since then. And on this site as well, I mean, I kind of expect we're going to just see it play out a 7-5. They go to reading Fireplace. And I think for QConfirm, it's time to just throw all the tricks out and just play a structured push here. Top down, clear out Cocktail, go for a default plant from Pillar,
5 seconds left.
and see how it plays out.
Attackers
really great
objective is
examples
the
so
located
far
bomb
from
and
Xavier
defuse
of mental fortitude. There's a very small window there where it would have been easy to fall into the trap of thinking maybe the map's over, maybe we don't quite have what it takes, but they hold firm. They're positioned nicely now to take full 3 points, but again, the job's not over. It's not done yet. QConfirm looking to rappel to the top of the roof into a top-down take.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Aggressive operator lineup being brought to the table. IQ, Ash, and Yana all great operators to frag out on. And they'll be met with resistance. Onigiri is the name that comes to mind immediately. Despite not playing the top floor, could have a big impact late round. He's been showing up big on the back end of this map. Napew, oh no, he's going for another big flank.
I like this. I love this. Even at match point, they are not going to give QConfirm an inch. They're going to keep the foot on the throat. They're going to make it so hard now for QConfirm to win this round. Down a player on reading fireplace. No control third floor. This is so rough. Like Colas in mining though. If he can find this kill on ping. No, not going to happen. Man, how does QConfirm get back into this? The only thing going for them is Lycola's position. They get through top red hatch now. But they've still got to clear out cocktail guns, and there's a minute and a half left. Like, they're going to get a move on.
Lycola's getting aggressive over towards Pillar. Maybe if he can find an opening, they can play off that. But even if they get in towards reading, too much vert is established from Xavier. And that, of course, leaves dining, which is precarious at the best of times. So I feel as if QConfirm still need to try and take cocktail, or at least disrupt these players and not make it comfortable. But there's so much utility invested here. Not a lot of time to work with. It's going to be very, very tough. But there we go. Lycola's does find one.
DCH as well now kind of out of position here, moving a little bit. This opens it up maybe for QConfirm, as you said, to clear out that cocktail position. Onigiri though with an IC4 onto Dark. Shots more again from Lycolas and really playing from this pillar position, making something happen for QConfirm, giving them an avenue into this round. But if Lycolas goes down, which he does, it's now 4-2. They lose that pillar position. Never mind producers there. Close by for that default play. They're just losing players though. They're losing the rounds. And they're going to lose the map 7-5. I cannot believe what a comeback from Xavier. 7-5 victory on Cafe. They were down 5-2. If you just tuned in, 5-2 they were down. They show their mettle. And it's the reason why they're the best team in APAC right now. 3-0, 9 points. 7-5 victory. And for Manic Monday, it's 0-4 tonight.
Xavier establishing themselves at the top of the standings, 1 point clear of the Knights. A thoroughly deserved result. They dug deep when it mattered. As you mentioned, 5-2 down. They use that tack timeout and they bounce back. Xavier, they are the real deal in APAC South.
They certainly are the real deal. One to watch out for. Maybe favorites. Do we give them the favorites tags from here on out for the season? It remains to be seen. They've got some big matches coming up against a lot of the Oceanic teams. They got Order, they got Elevate to come later.